Hello, sisters. This is so exciting. Okay, so I am here with the incredible, amazing, fabulous Shirley Gilad. I will let her tell you all a little bit about her work, but we are here because I am creating a series called Divine Divorce. Yes, you can use those two words together. Yes. Yes, you can. Living proof of it. And I want to share with my community who helped me get to this place where I could use those two words together. So I have been working with Shirley for a few years, I would say. We have worked on various issues that I have found are sticking points in my mind. You know, the mind gets stuck in a track and we think the same thoughts over and over and over and over again and then become our reality. And sometimes we just don't want that reality anymore. So we change our thoughts. And Shirley is magnificent about understanding that and helping us access that part of the power of our mind. So we're going to dive into how it works, what it looks like. I'll share what my experience is receiving hypnotherapy, because if you go to what the mainstream understanding is, that's not it. She doesn't have me clucking like a chicken, and I'm fully aware of everything that's going on. But we're hoping this will be interactive as well. So since we're streaming through the sisterhood group, if you have questions, if you have comments, please type them in. Shirley's going to help me keep track of that because one thing at a time for my brain right now. But anyway, Shirley, I'm going to turn it over to you. Can you explain your work a little bit?
So hypnosis, what is hypnosis? Thank you for telling everybody that it's not about clucking like a chicken. That's its first step. Really what hypnosis is gaining a different kind of access point, a different way of taking an inner dive to create change and transformation. Like Stephanie said, I'm sure you all see it in your lives, you know, repeated habits, repeated patterns. You may even ask yourself, you know, I know this is not working for me. Why am I doing this again and again? And that's great awareness. Sometimes we don't even have that awareness. We just repeat again and again. The people we choose in our lives, the actions we take under certain circumstances. When you think of it logically, it makes no sense. But we're not really logical creatures. We're emotional. We have that part of the mind that we call the subconscious mind, that emotional part of our minds that's been influenced for years by our childhood, by our experiences. And a lot of what we do comes from there. So just like a quick idea, an example, making it more maybe lively. If I grew up in a situation, in a childhood home that made me feel that I'm not appreciated, and this is a belief that I adopted about myself, that I'm not appreciated, then I go through life and I do one of two things. I gravitate towards situations where I think I'll be appreciated, and I move away from situations that have the potential for no appreciation. And I don't really live in reality. I live in my delusional mind that constantly thinks that I'm not appreciated. And we are all carrying those, not this specific one, but our own beliefs coming from our own experiences. So hypnosis is about accessing that part of the mind, changing that, and then creating great freedom to be who we should be, all that we can be.
Awesome. Exactly. And coming from the soul perspective, which I always come from, I do believe that we are here to transcend our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, and to access our greatest potential. And so hypnotherapy for me has been this beautiful experience and opportunity to explore some of those beliefs that have really deep root systems. We think they're really deep root systems. That's just because they're repeated, though. Actually, you can pluck the plants out a lot more easily than you think.
Absolutely.
So, and that's what hypnotherapy was. And so in my work with Shirley, I probably have been working out my divorce for the years I've been working with you, because it's a big deal. It's not a decision that you take on lightly, hopefully. And then we were speaking earlier, Shirley, about the timing of it. It's so individual. Even though I had a sense some years ago that this may be the likelihood, I had to play some more things out. I had to try some more things. I had to dedicate to whatever else I felt was necessary, so that when I did make that decision, I would know without question that it was the right one for me. And initially, I worked with Shirley on some habits that are, I would say self-defeating. So for me, it was like emotional eating was one of the things that we worked on. And that was really helpful. And the way that it worked, I want to describe what you guys might experience, or what I experienced in the therapy. But at that time, pre-COVID, we were meeting in Shirley's beautiful, as you can see, office. And first we spent time talking about what are the issues. And Shirley has a set of questions that she asks, and she knows how to listen, to go deeper, and to ask beyond what is just the surface issue, because it's never the surface issue, and it's never really what you think. So then we get to this really soft, comfy chair, which honestly, if that's the only reason to go to Shirley, go. This chair is amazing, and she puts a blanket over you and you feel cozy and held and just loved. And then Shirley does the process of, with her soothing voice, walking you through. And if I'm skipping a step, you'll correct me in a moment, Shirley, but walking me through a different type of journey, giving my mind a different option instead of the repetitive track of whatever the statement or the thought is. I'm afraid, like one other, in our later work, I was afraid to get a divorce. I was afraid. I had so much fear around, what would that do to my family? Would my children be okay? What would it do? Would I ever have a decent relationship with my ex-spouse? Would I be okay? What's my identity? I've been so identified as a wife. So untangling some of that. And then she creates a meditation in the moment that you're in actually, I want you to explain this, because I think I might be skipping stuff and I don't want to do that. Go ahead. Take us from the chair point forwards.
So, yes, pre-COVID days, the chair, the very amazing recliner in my office. But to be honest, now that I've been working online for months, everybody has a place in their house that's really comfortable. So you get the same kind of experience from the comfort of your own home. But the idea is that you go into deep relaxation. You're not losing control. It's not that you don't know where you are, but the state of relaxation allows us access to that famous subconscious mind. And once you're in that state of relaxation, information takes on a different form. It has different meaning. You can go back to a childhood event that you may remember, but you did not get the potential in it or the trauma that it created. You just remember that as an event in childhood. So we get a lot of information from you, really, from the person that's in the chair. I am a guide in this process. Yes, I'm a skillful guide, but that's all I am, a guide that allows you to express what needs to come through.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yes to that. You enter a state of relaxation, and then she walks you through a very peaceful experience of the mind. So what I remember, Shirley, is that first you really got a sense for where is my peaceful place? Mm-hmm. And my peaceful place is directly behind you on your wall. I always see the rivers and the rocks and the trees and the animals and the deer. And so you kind of create that to, I suppose, enter into that state of relaxation. And then through your voice and a new narrative, you walk me through an experience of a new option. Is that accurate?
Right. So we want to create an alternative, right? So our mind has been stuck in a pattern. And it always is a pattern that the mind thinks is beneficial for us. There's always an intent of protection in our minds. It protects our body, mind, spirit. The problem is that maybe stuck in a protective pattern that done maybe something really good for us when we were 9 or 10 or 12, but is no longer relevant. Now, instead of protecting us, it's holding us back. So we create an alternative for the mind, a different viewpoint, an opportunity to create a new narrative. And that opens all possibilities.
Yes. Yes, it does. And then we get a recording. She sent me a recording afterwards of that, of the new narrative, of the relaxation process, of the new choice points that I have if I'm finding that I am in the old patterning or the thought rut. And to be honest, I am sure the recordings work amazing. I didn't even need to listen to them hardly at all. The first ones we did with the emotional eating, I did. I was pretty good with my homework about those. But as time went on and we were working more on the readiness and the confidence and the old fearful patterns with regards to the divorce situation, I didn't even listen to those recordings, and they did their work. That time with you cleared the path. It's amazing. So you all should listen to your recordings. Do not. Don't.
You can think of the recordings as brain training, which is exactly what they are. So, we know so much more now in terms of the neuroscience of the brain and how things are created and connected in our minds. Beautiful functional MRI studies. So we know those neural networks that kind of run the system, they can be rewired. The recordings help the rewiring. That's all.
So do you think, because now I'm nervous, do you think that I could achieve the rewiring without, yes. Okay, because I feel rewired. Yes. I really do.
Yeah, sometimes it's enough. Listen, it's individual. Your mind is your mind, your constitution. You've also done a lot of work over the years, in that realm. So for a tuned mind, maybe there's need for less listening. For somebody who's less experienced, there may be need for more listening. But sometimes it's enough to just give, really, like, it's almost like you're giving the brain a prompt, the subconscious mind a prompt, and saying, hey, what about that? And it says, oh, I love that. And that's it.
Yes. Yes, the brain can get very excited about this. I think the brain probably gets really bored with the sameness over and over and over. But it will work according to how we task it, right? And Absolutely. The mind is meant to be creative. I don't think it wants to be in this same old pattern thinking. So, yeah, okay, good. Well, I feel relieved to know that
you're fine.
I have not stunted myself in any way. Let me see what other questions I have here. So what can you give me? I mean, I spoke of the two big things in my life that I have worked on, and can you give some other ideas of some core things that hypnotherapy would be very powerful to address?
Well, I truly believe that everybody should do hypnosis when they feel they're stuck in whatever area they are stuck in their lives. And it could come from what seems to be very mechanical. People come to see me to stop smoking, right? Mm-hmm. It's never about the cigarettes. Never. It's never once did I just treat a person to stop them from smoking without looking at the underlying cause, right? Why are they smoking? What time in their life did they start smoking? What is smoking to them? Is it an identity? Is it a break from reality? So anything and everything goes back to how we view ourselves. And we all deserve to view ourselves positively in this world. Probably 30-40% of people that come to me come for anxiety. And then the rest is all kinds of things. It could be, again, what may seem, I have a woman I'm working with, she has fear of driving over bridges and she lives in the Keys. So it's a kind of a problem. But it's not about the bridges, of course. It's about something completely different. It's never we're so layered, right? And what is on the surface is what we see, observe as our reaction and action. And then underneath, there is this iceberg that says, please reveal me. I want to know, give me an option. I want to do something different. And that's hypnosis. It's providing an alternative on the deepest of levels that lasts because it's a different kind of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Beautiful. Thank you, Shirley. Do we have any questions? I'm not able to see that part of the...
I don't think so. We have
Okay.
some viewers live with us right now, but I don't see any comments.
Do we have any questions?
Do you hear yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Awesome. Then let me just take a moment and feel if there's anything else that wishes to be shared.
Oh, there are some comments. Hold on.
Okay.
Just hellos.
Okay.
Yeah. Katerina is saying emotional eating is a big one. Christine is saying hello. And we have my friend Lisa Offsey watching with us, and Paula. So
very good. Very good. Well, then if there are no questions, I just want to say thank you, Shirley. Your work in the world lets me do my work in the world with greater ease and so much more expansiveness. And that's what I feel, as I said before, we're really here for. Our souls are here to, yes, go through the challenges, and relationships are how we really navigate in the biggest way our challenges. They're very important, all of our relationships. And I don't believe we're meant to feel or stay or be in the narrative of victim or what ifness, fear, anxiety. We are at a time on the planet where we are all being asked to live into the fullest of who we are, truly to fill ourselves up and out, take full embodiment. And bring the energy, the highest frequency energy that we can for ourselves primarily. And then that ripples out to our work with our relationships with our friends, our families, our loved ones, and really the entire planet. So that's just, that's a bit about Shirley. She's really been a powerful, important healer for me in this enormous transition and journey that I've taken.
I was really so happy to be with you. I don't know if we have time, but I have a question from Paula Agudelo.
Uh-huh.
Any insight on shadow work? She's asking.
You take that, Shirley.
So there are no shadows. These are all facets of us. There are no shadows. They're really different levels of light, if you'd like. The shadows that we call shadows are simply a reflection of a difficulty that needs to be addressed. Maybe the light needs to shine brighter there. Maybe there's work to be done, the work that Stephanie does, the work that I do. So we transform, because the idea of shadow is another viewpoint, right? It's a view that you're holding about a part of you. You're holding the view that this is shadow. What if it's not?
Wow. You know, the term shadow, every word has energy to it, and it's tight for me. It feels very tight. I have worked to try to release the feeling of, constriction around that word or judgment around it, because it's such a common thing to talk about with those aspects of ourselves that we keep hidden, or or the darker, whatever. But gosh, do I love what you just said. There are no shadows. Or what if there are no shadows?
Right. It's just a different,
Brilliant.
We hold views about anything and everything. When you stop for a minute, you just pause to ask yourself, what is this view that I'm holding? And what is the alternative to this view that I'm holding? And just be open to what comes to you, open to the possibilities. Yeah, I'm looking if there are any more. That's why my gaze is down, to see if anybody asks any other questions. Paula says, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Shirley. So will you, you or I will put a link into this video. So if people want to connect with you, they'll know the best way to do so. Again, it's limitless what Shirley can help you with because we've all got our stuff, our challenges, ways that we would like to look at the world in a different way, in a lighter way, brighter way, experience more love, more ease, more joy. So thank you, dear sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a
Absolutely.
joyful morning for me. I appreciate the partnership.
Me too.